What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 67. Wow, big number. Of
Yeah.
the Coast Leafs podcast. I'm Sean Orange. I'm a good buddy, Trevor Bast.
We're kind of fucking with the numbers a bit, though, right? Because we're just kind of we're sometimes it's a number episode, sometimes it's it's just a bonus episode.
This is a legit episode.
This is an actual studio. We're in the studio.
Yeah.
I'm in the big chair. You're in the other big chair. And we are in the studio for the first time this summer.
Has anyone worn 67?
Yeah, two people. I looked it up. Brandon Cozen in 2015.
I remember him.
I was all prepared for them not to be a 67, and then we talk about that glorious Stanley Cup.
That's a Lou number.
It is a Lou number. Yeah, and then Robert Schwela.
No idea. Who
Remember
that is.
him?
No.
He wore it in 2003. He was he's kind of a journeyman. But yeah. So I got the beer yesterday. We had a little bit of misunderstanding on when we're going to pod. So I've had the beer fermenting in the fridge. So let's just get right to that.
Is it a bomber or two cans?
It is actually a bomber today.
Very nice.
A rare bomber. Yeah.
Have you been drinking much beer in your hot tub?
No.
No.
I don't think I have had a beer in the hot tub yet.
I thought you posted a picture of you drinking in the hot, or that maybe it was a coffee.
Maybe it was a coffee. Yeah. Yeah. It's good. It's a good coffee in the morning place. But it's kind of too warm.
Do you soak nude?
I have. Yeah. But just for convenience. It's not
out on your deck, eh?
Yeah, because it's private. It's not like a fetish. It's just like I don't want to get my clothes wet, and then I don't want to wear like my.
I might have to censor you using the word fetish.
It's just something that I just do so I can just dry off quicker and get out. So Wyatt has hooked us up with the Hoyne Brewing Company, Queen's Rook Heiselwiesen. Oh, God. So
Heiselwiesen? Hefeweizen?
Hefeweizen. Excuse me. So this is going to be interesting because we've had a couple of this style of beer before, and we've been really on the fence for them. The White Rook has stood motionless, shoulder to shoulder. Hold on. All right. Lighting. Oh, yeah, that's better. The White Rook has stood motionless, shoulder to shoulder beside the king like a fortress for an age, all the while casting his eye deep into the prayerless distance. Any movement his queen will beckon him to battle, and together with agility and precision, they will bring lightning to black thunder.
So is this like ode to like Queens because you're going to New York?
No, I think it's an ode to Des because he's moving to Germany or to Europe, maybe, hey?
Yes.
Or Queens, because the unit is in Queens.
Yes.
There's a lot of connective tissue in this beer. Hopefully we don't taste it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 5% alcohol volume.
Excellent.
There we go. So, do you want to get into anything right off the hop?
Like specifically?
Yeah. I'll talk about life. How was Toronto?
I feel
Ontario?
like there needs to be like some sort of pointed question there.
No. Do you want to bullshit about your trip to Toronto, or do you want to get into our first item on the agenda?
We can talk about my trip. I went back home, just in the about 2 hours southwest of Toronto in the London area.
Yeah.
And it was a great visit at home. It was living in the West Coast. One thing that we don't have here are thunderstorms, thunder and lightning.
Oh, I miss them so much.
So the first day I was back, I was sitting out in my parents' gazebo on the back deck, and I watched the thunderstorm come in, and it was like torrential rain pour, thunder, lightning. It was very cool.
Yeah.
And then the following weekend, it was a cousin's wedding, and wow, like.
It looked like a pretty cool, like there was a tent. Was it in a tent outdoors?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it was, my uncle has like this gorgeous property out in like the country near Ottawa, and it's spectacular. And they had a huge tent on their front lawn. It was like 140 people, like a built-in dance floor.
Nice.
An absolute time. Oh, like just like the entire weekend though, because the night before was kind of a family reunion. I haven't seen some of my cousins in quite a few years,
yeah.
And so we're all staying at a hotel, and everyone my cousin works at, and she had the top of the the penthouse suite kind of
Wow.
set aside for us.
Rooftop pool or anything
So-
like that, or
No pool.
No.
So we partied
Yeah.
up there until like we drank all of our beers and everything.
yeah.
And so then like 10 of us, like my aunt, uncles, cousins, we wanted to go out. So we went to this place called the Crazy Horse and just fired it up.
Do they have
like,
a mechanical bull?
no mechanical bull,
Ugh.
live bull, like not live bull, live band.
Yeah.
And I was hanging out with my cousins, and then just great time dancing.
Nice.
And then the wedding was spectacular.
Yeah, looked
And-
good. I saw lots of posts because I follow a couple of your cousins on Instagram too, so they had lots of posts as well.
Yeah,
Looked really really done right.
it was one of the nicer weddings that I've been
Yeah,
to.
nice. That's
And,
awesome, man.
And it was so funny story. So like the following day, like so we had gone hard 2 days in a row. The entire family. My uncle has all the family back to his family as well as my aunt Lorraine, her family too, came back for a barbecue. So we're sitting around the tent. And there's this guy that I haven't met before, but there's also my aunt Lorraine's family there, so I'm not sure who they are. And he's like, initially, my aunt, she's like French Canadian, so he kind of like talked with. I thought like English was his second language, and so just because he kind of like struggled with like getting some words out and whatnot, and so then all of a sudden like his wife comes to come pick him up, and it turns out like he stands up and he's just like, I'm fucked. I'm like sitting there with my cousin. I'm like, who is this? He's like in his 50s. I'm like, who is this guy? And he stands up and he's just like, I love drinking.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, he's mangled. And so then he tells my cousin Connor that he can have the leftover gin from that he didn't drink. So during the afternoon, he drank 2/3 of a 40-ouncer of gin.
Holy crap. And you walked out?
Was absolutely crippled, leaving at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And I had no idea who this guy was. Turns out he's like a third cousin
No way.
of our family, and just shit-faced.
So all this time you thought he was like had this wicked Lanark accent.
Yeah. And he didn't even come to the wedding. So imagine if you're this guy. You go to a family barbecue the following day after a wedding and get absolutely annihilated drinking gin. Like day drunk. Like
Jeez, eh?
and just doesn't know anyone.
Hey, good sport though. He didn't hold it against anybody that he wasn't invited to the wedding.
It was unreal.
good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him. So I had a couple of questions that I shot to you earlier in the summer
Yes.
about you and I, and if we were journalists, hockey beat writers in Toronto,
Yes.
who would we be? So the question was, who do I think that you think you're most like?
Say that again.
Who would I think that you would think you're most like? Okay.
That wasn't the first question.
Yeah, it was.
The first
Sean
question
thinks
was,
he's like blank.
what Leafs journalist, radio, TV, or print do you think you would be the most like? So
Yeah.
what do I think?
Yeah, okay. So who do you think you would be the most like?
Stop saying you. Yeah, say I. Because when you say you, you're talking about me.
Oh, okay. So we're doing this for me.
Yes.
Okay. So that you're asking you're asking me that now? I think I would be the most like Pierre LeBrun.
So off the chart.
So who did you think that I'd be the most like?
I
I
said Jeff O'Neill.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Thank you for not saying Steve Simmons. I thought you were going to say Steve Simmons for sure.
No.
No? Okay. Who do you think you'd be the most like?
I didn't really know what to say to this.
No,
Like,
because it's stupid,
it is stupid.
but it's fun.
It's
It's gotten all convoluted now.
my comment was like James Myrtle or I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. I thought that you'd be the most like Jonas Siegel,
Why?
just because like serious and analytical
Okay.
and professional,
Yeah.
and but I thought that your answer about your own self would be Chris Johnston. I thought you would think that you were more like Chris Johnston.
Thought about that. Same ilk, James Merle. Like that deep insider.
Yeah, exactly.
Like analytical thinking, common sense.
Yeah.
Not too high, not too low, unless drinking's involved.
And I'm more the opposite of all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Shitty exercise.
That was an awful
that will not be our new segment coming up next year.
You didn't get the question.
Well, it was weird. It was well thought out in my head at the time. Didn't translate well to podcasting.
But I read word for word what your text said. It was clear.
My text and my thoughts didn't match up. What do you think of the beer so far? Do you have a drink?
It's all right.
It's good. Yeah. It's a Hefeweizen. That's what it is.
Hefeweizen, how is it?
Tastes like that. So you had brought up the fact that you wanted to talk about the Leafs, the rankings.
Well, it's good content for the middle of August.
Yeah.
So, The Athletic, like Corey Pronman put out, he's been putting out every day 2 teams counting down the number 1 farm system. Leafs coming in at number 21. Slight fall from last year. Last year they're number 19. So right now, I'll run through our top 5 prospects.
Yeah.
Number 1, Rasmus Sandin, Jeremy Bracco, Joseph Wall, Nicholas Robertson, and then Timothy Liljegren. And then Ian Scott, number 6, just to throw
so 2 goalies in the top
Western
6.
League. I'm surprised Liljegren is this far down the charts. He's a 20-year-old defenseman that's played 2 years in the American League. I'm surprised
from 18.
Yes, I'm surprised he's not sitting at number 2
as our second. Yeah, and has a right-handed shot too, which is amazing. So I think just to show you, and I read it, and even in this day and age, when people rate prospects, especially defensemen, well, they did it to Bracco too, and they used the whole undersized thing, right? And I think that's the check mark against these guys. And but should it be anymore?
Sandin's 5'11".
Yeah. What is Liljegren? Around the same, isn't he? More like 6 feet.
Liljegren is 6 foot.
So that's still considered undersized for defensemen, depending on who you talk to. Although there are many guys out there right now thriving that aren't Chris Pronger.
I think
right?
we're going to see these 2 play another full year in the American League. I think they're going to have a great year, and that's where we're going to see them progress the following year to the big club.
Do you see any of them starting the year because of the Dermott injury, getting a few games in? What are the waiver considerations for stuff like that?
For these guys, it would be none. They'd be on a 2-way contract. Of their age.
So they could one of them could start the season as a stopgap.
I think it really, at that point though, it comes down to what Babcock wants, because that's a coach decision.
Is there do you think there's an earnable job for either of those guys if they just have a pro summer? And as he likes to call it,
what's a pro summer?
Well, that's what Babcock's little thing is. Like go have like a pro summer, like
work out.
Yeah, like
don't crush beers.
Have a man summer, in his estimation, right? And so we love this. We trust him with everything. And so, do you think there's a spot to be won?
Not over, not in a top 6.
Not in the top 6.
Not like they're not beating out Travis Dermott.
No,
that's not happening.
Could induce a Cody Ceci trade if one of them plays well enough.
No one's taking Cody Ceci.
Oh, there's somebody out there that would take Cody Ceci.
At $4.5 million.
Hey, there might be somebody out there. Jim Benning just got extended in Vancouver.
3 years.
You never know. That guy's a funny dude.
I think it's the only thing could be is with how long Dermott's out for. It's whoever's the best one available.
Yeah,
and they'd stay.
So not to get into our top 60 conversation, but Barry Ceci, Riley, Muzzin, and then Dermott. But start at day 1 though, then you're looking at sort of Marincini kind of backfilled, kind of trash.
I wouldn't say trash. I feel. You know what? I think
Liljegren will get a shot at the start just until Dermott gets back. I think you'll see an NHL game this year at the start of the season.
Okay.
So which one of those goalies? I mean, goalies are so hard, man. Like,
I have no idea.
Like, are one of those guys stepping in 2 years and taking Freddie's starting job when he leaves as a UFA, or they decide they want to move on from him?
When Freddie gets
Like,
$10 million.
Like Ian's, like sometimes goalies, some are just destined. Like they take the Braden Holtby route to the NHL. Like you never know,
the
right?
key is not trading them. Just let them.
Yeah.
If you can stop the puck, you can.
being the AHL goalie of the year, as Jamie McLennan likes to point out often, doesn't guarantee you anything. More than 50% of them don't become NHL starters. So yeah, just goalies are a weird path.
It's one of the hardest positions in sport to play.
Yeah.
Outside of probably NFL quarterback. And it's tough. Like you get like a guy like Biddington, like almost an ECHL goalie, gets called up because of multiple injuries and goes on a run.
Finds lightning in a bottle.
Wins a cup.
Yeah. Do you see Jeremy Bracco as a Leaf one day?
Not this year, but I think I see him potentially as a trade bait guy. I could see him, but he's also a nice filler though. Be a cheap contract type third, fourth line guy.
Yeah, he's going to be cost controlled for a very long time.
Yeah,
and he can pass the puck.
Yeah,
like is there a day where he might be feeding Matthews or feeding Nylander?
Is that because Marner's playing over in Zurich
for the Zurich Lions? Yeah. I've already ordered my Zurich Lions Marner sweater off of Amazon.
Do you think Marner even cares? Like, do you think he's just totally tuned this out?
I don't fucking know anymore. I think what he said at that golf tournament, that he has no clue what's going on, is a big fat lie. Obviously, I wouldn't not be clued in. You know,
the thing with Marner is like, if he legit doesn't sign by the start of the regular season, he only makes less and less money. Like the Leafs they can't go more.
No,
that's just the reality.
Like, I mean, my kids are 23 and 24. Like, how old is Marner? 21.
21 or 22.
Like, is there that much of a difference in those couple years of maturity? Because, like, honestly, if my oldest son was going through this right now, and I was trying to push him one way or another, like, he would legit tell me to fuck off. Like, honestly, like he would not let me control this situation for him. And
okay.
Like, and is this just a? I don't think Marner is as pissed off about stuff as other people.
But like, so he's talking about the difference of making like $9 million American or $11 million American a year, and like, so that's gonna be like $13 to $15 million Canadian.
Yeah.
Like
over the life of the contract
per year. But like, that's gonna be like, do you think
Canadian? Yeah, okay.
But you think that's gonna make a difference though? Like an extra 1.5 million a day. Like once you're making that much money, like his kids are now set.
Yeah, and they all are.
On top of
I don't like to look at it that way though.
He has though too. I think honestly, it's not about the money. It's about the I'm as good as Matthews. I've been shit on my entire life because I'm small. I didn't get drafted. Like I wasn't in the same ilk as McDavid. I wasn't considered a top 3. I went 4th. He's always had like a chip on his shoulder, and I think it's not about the money. It's about the treat me fairly.
Do you think he's pissed because he didn't get the signing bonuses on his entry-level contract too? Do you think that that's still something that they're considering?
It's everything.
They gotta let shit go.
It's everything. It goes back to even probably like the OHL. If you read when he first started playing for London, he actually left the team after like a month and like went home for like a weekend and had to like sort himself out because he wasn't playing well.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, do you like? Sometimes I feel that there's actually not room in the NHL under the cap for a 3-headed monster up front for teams. You know what I mean? Like you got your Crosby Malkin. You know, like.
But you can't compare
Kessel
that, though.
moved. Kessel. I'm talking salary wise. Like,
but I said you
Kessel
can't,
came in with a few.
Crosby
bucks.
signed a 12-year contract. You can't compare that to future. No different than like let's say what the Blackhawks have Keith and Tays and Seabrook.
But I'm talking forwards though, because Blackhawks they always had Kane, Taves.
Hossa.
They didn't. Well, see, those guys came in as complimentary. I'm talking
Hossa's a Hall of Famer.
But I'm talking 3 actual marquee players paid as marquee
Marian
players.
Hossa is going to be like a first ballot Hall of Famer.
I get that, but
you said marquee player. How's a first ballot?
Hosa's a bit of a drifter.
Pulling up his
he was a
stats
bit
right
of
now.
he was being a cup chaser
How
at
many
that
cups
point.
did he win?
He won a couple because he chased them. He failed a lot first chasing them, and then he finally found Chicago. But like we're kind of not talking about the same thing here. I'm saying, is there room in this cap era to have 3 marquee forwards paid as marquee forwards, taking up
William Mueller's making
$33 million of your cap?
William Mueller's making nothing.
But I'm talking Tavares, Matthews, and Marner. Like I don't want to be the guy that says this isn't doable, because they could fit him in and win the cup this year, and that'd be great. But it's proving to be a bit of an issue.
So Marian Hossa, 1,309 games, 525 goals, 1,134 points.
Point a game player.
Stud. First ballot Hall of Famer.
I know, but he wasn't.
You're just saying marquee players,
but he wasn't drafted and developed and by Chicago.
Who the fuck do you think John Tavares is from?
Well, he's
drafted as a first-round draft pick.
You're not listening to me.
You just said draft and developed, and you're not even like John Tavares.
Kane and Taves were the pillars.
Marner, Matthews,
Patrick Sharp, Marner's Matthew Tavares. You don't. There's never. You
just said drafted and developed.
But when you talk about cup champions over the last decade, you never say 3 guys.
You're making yourself look bad.
No. You say Crosby, Malkin. You say Kane, Taves. You don't say Kane, Taves, Hossa, Sharp.
But
you don't.
Shouldn't you say
they were there?
Crosby, Malkin, Fleury, or Murray?
No, when you're talking
about
the forwards that drive the play on those teams, Crosby, Malkin, Carter, Kopitar.
The one cup Kessel should have won the Conn Smythe. He was 35 points.
No, but he never. But nobody cared because it was Crosby, Malkin. It was Kane, Taves.
You've painted yourself into a box here, and you're incorrect.
No, because you can't. I think we're at a place where you probably can't have 3 marquee guys making the same amount of money on your team. I don't know if you can do it. I think that's where we're at. And I don't think that Marner is an $11 million player on any other team except Toronto, where he has this fucking comparable that they've created for themselves. Like I don't, and I think it leads me into another topic though, is that this is a bigger issue around the league where these RFAs,
no one's signing.
These RFAs aren't signing. Yeah. It's almost like they're all talking and they're trying to change the culture of this in real time.
They're waiting until Marner signs.
I don't think so.
Because Marner will set the market because it's...
You know what? I don't think this has anything to do with AAV. I think these are all fights on term. These guys want to walk their way into unrestricted free agency. I believe that these guys are coming out of their 3-year entry-level deals. They're so good. Yeah. They're so good at hockey now. They are now the best players on their teams. And they're also being told at the back end of their careers that they're washed up at 29. So they're saying, pay me now, but pay me again. I want to get paid huge through my entire prime. I'm not proving to you guys anything else.
Yeah.
I want big money. I want short term right now, and I want to get paid again.
So if that's the changing landscape, then that's what's going to happen.
Then I think that's where we're at. So I don't think it's about necessarily Marner thinks he's as valuable, or as he wants the same AAV as Matthews. Mm-hmm. He wants the 5-year deal, as well.
And that's where he's not going to get that.
But I think that's where the fight is, though. I don't think the fight is on money as much as people think.
It's going to be either 3 years or it's going to be 6+.
I'd say to these guys, you know what? If you want to be the pioneers of this movement, sign a 1-year deal, get into camp and bet on yourself and hose your fucking team next year. Then go put up 125 points. You know what I mean? Like, go and do it. Like, you want to be the guy. Go be the guy, man.
You're so negative towards Marner.
No, I'm not.
You're like hating on Marner.
I'm not. I'm not. I don't care. Like, I don't care who's on this hockey club. Like, I honestly could give a shit if they.
I want Marner on our hockey club. He's my favorite player.
If they flip-flopped our roster for Florida for next season and the Leafs won the cup with Florida's last year's roster, I'd fucking buy every guy's sweater, and I wouldn't give a shit about Matthews.
Well, now you're just acting
Morgan
ridiculous.
Riley. Well, no, but I don't care. Like one player does not do it for me. Like, I love Marner. You love Marner more than I love Marner. I want him to be a Leaf, but I want to win more.
That's the point of it. The point is winning. Marner gives us a better chance to win.
Why? No, he didn't. Was he on St. Louis this year?
No, he's in the Eastern Conference.
But he wasn't on the Cup champion team. His team went out in the first round of the playoffs this year.
Tyler Bozak
He's not
was,
a god.
Though. Tyler Bozak was.
I know.
Alex Steen.
Exactly.
Carl Gunnarsson.
The mute. the mute Jay Bomeister.
Well, this was a good segue from talking about Leaf prospects.
Yeah. I know. I tried not to get. Yes, you're the one that brought up Marner today, not me. But it's just a fucking elephant in the room. It's just ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
And I mean, I think I like our team going into camp, whether Marner's there or not. I think that we're gonna. No predictions yet.
So what's your?
I'll save my prediction for September.
So what's your plan this week? You haven't posted it on Twitter or Instagram or anything.
I'm going to Toronto tomorrow. I've got some craft beer.
Did you post your schedule of events, like your itinerary, online?
No, my itinerary is fluid.
I thought it was posted online. I thought you had an itinerary posted.
No, I'm taking offers. I'm going to be downtown, hunkering down in the downtown core.
Will you get drunk?
I likely won't get drunk even once.
Really?
No.
Buzzed?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll get buzzed, but I don't plan on like staggering home because I don't know my way around very well.
But you have like a phone though, right?
Yeah.
Like, phones have GPS.
Yeah, but you know me though. Like I don't get drunk. See, I don't drink lots because it doesn't alter me.
Yeah.
Right? So like fuck man, like if alcohol altered me into some really fun place, I'd fucking drink a lot more. But it
alter you.
Like if it made me just like fun Trevor, like just this crazy guy, or I felt like all my problems were going away, yeah, I'd drink a lot more. But I just gotta feel like
all your problems.
I could have 5 beer, and I'm like, oh yeah, I just had 5 beer, and I'm still just this fucking guy that I was when I had no beer in me. You know, to a degree. I guess that's kind of a good thing.
I find that the drinking helps me dance better.
I will give you that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does help you dance better.
Yeah.
No. And I'm more willing to dance when I've had a few.
That's fair.
I don't know if it makes me dance better, but at least it gets me out there.
That's fair. That's
because
good.
I'm kind of a shy, no drink dancer. Because I don't know any. Like I think I can polka, but I don't have any of the. I'm not a good like ballroom dancer.
Are you gonna go to a nightclub in Toronto?
Any recommendations?
No.
But I am. But you know, the highlight of my trip is not Toronto's. Just my pit stop along the way.
What is the highlight of the trip?
Going to New York to watch the U.S. Open.
Very good.
Yeah. So I got 4 days at the U.S. Open in New York. Had my Airbnb canceled on me on Sunday, but I got another one hooked up.
Very good.
So that's good. Flying to LaGuardia. I don't know what else I'm gonna do.
Just watch tennis.
Watch tennis. Maybe go to Manhattan. Go to Wall Street. Maybe catch a play. I don't know.
A play?
Maybe catch a Broadway play.
Won't you be just like your day filled with watching tennis though?
I will watch tennis for 12 hours a day if that's what I want to do.
Nothing else to do then.
No, like I could be the one guy that came back from New York and said like I didn't see anything except.
Well, I've been in New York twice.
Flushing Meadows.
Love New York. Just like you can go to like a Mets game or a Yankees game.
Well, as a matter of fact, right across the street from the tennis venue was Citi Field.
Oh.
So every night I'm there, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Cubs, Mets.
Go to one of those games.
But guess what? Like last week, I kind of projected ahead what the Mets rotation might end up being. I went like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stroh show on Tuesday, possibly.
That'd be cool.
That'd be kind of cool to go there and watch the Stroh show.
Yeah.
But they're drawing well right now. They're pretty good. So I'll have to, I'll just always tickets.
Scalpers.
You can always get tickets off of an app.
It's New York.
Yeah. So, that starts tomorrow.
The cool thing about New York that I found is that when you like come out like in downtown New York for the first time, you feel like it's so big. Like the buildings everything's massive. You feel so like small and insignificant. It's just such a cool city. I love it.
So coming from Regina, that was my first experience in Toronto when I was like 20. When I went there for the first time, I stood on like kind of like just on Bay and Yonge or whatever the cross streets are, and I just looked straight up at these skyscrapers like, holy shit.
New York's
it
next
was insane.
level.
It is, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's going to be fun. And I looked at the forecast. Doesn't look like there's any rain forecast for most of that week and stuff like that. So the tennis will be good. I'll drink my $17 US Michelob Ultras.
$17, eh?
Yeah. That was the price of the beer in Vegas at the Vegas Leafs game too. Michelob Ultra tall cans for $17 US.
That, you know what? When we went to Vancouver with the Canucks game, those like the beers that like the IPAs that I was drinking was like $15 a pop.
Yeah.
But it was like 24 ounces. Though.
Yeah, they were a good sized drink, weren't they? Yeah.
We hammered off those ones.
Yeah. Yeah. So our next one is going to be
not till September.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not back till the 30th, Labor Day weekend, and they're kind of going to start getting ready for camp by then. So maybe there's going to be movement. I still will stand by my statement that the whole Marner thing will be sorted out, but they just can't activate their LTIR stuff till October 1st. That's kind of where I'm at.
It's all posturing.
I think it's all posturing. If there's a deal in place, why do they still have to posture?
If he's not signed by the first game of the year, he's sitting out the entire year.
That's your call.
That's unless he's gonna take a lot less.
Like,
money.
could they announce right now that, oh, hey, you know what, we have a deal in place, we just can't activate it, or would that be like complete cap circumvention kind of?
That probably won't go.
They can't do that. So he's just gotta take the PR hits, and whatever happens.
It's his agent, though. Everyone loves Marner.
This is his move, eh? Like someone screen grabbed and made a tweet out of 3 or 4 old instances where this guy's players threatened to go to Switzerland, including that Detroit guy, and to Kupo. No, that's the Milwaukee Bucks forward.
This agent, like, I'm not a fan.
No, he likes to drive a hard bargain.
Whatever.
So, what did you think of this beer?
It's all right.
Yeah, I mean, this style of beer is not for me. Like it's almost like drinking a domestic kind of beer for me. It's pretty beer. It's beer. It's just like beer as beer was meant to be, not all crafty. So,
yeah,
I think that's it. What are you typing?
Just adding a note.
Tightening your sign off.
Tightening up the notes that we keep on every podcast that I have.
So, hey, like we're going to just crush this season on the podcast. This is going to be our season.
Maybe.
We're going to add new. Thanks for the enthusiasm. We're gonna add some segments. We're tightening up our beer rating system.
Do you have something lined up for like the opening night with Fifth Street for live pod?
We can. Yeah,
like
definitely.
What live pods do we have?
Live pods?
Like what? Like come on! Like what are you doing? You're sitting on your ass. Like, you're not like banging down their doors for more sponsors.
Yeah, I got a lot of irons in the fire. That's what do you think I'm going to be doing the entire time in downtown Toronto? I'm just going to be pounding on the doors of craft breweries, handing out our business cards, showing people our headshots.
The 1,000 business cards that you ordered.
I'm going to get sponsorship. I'm going to say I can drive people towards your brewery through my social media, especially. I'm especially on fire on social media. I actually was glad that Drager tweeted about Marner finally today after about a month of being off, because it kind of takes the pressure off of me.
We'll end on that note.
On that note, all right, go Leafs, go, and go Bianca Andreescu, Denis Shapovalov.
This is a hockey podcast.
Go Leafs, go.